Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapos Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready accepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the ark pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. And shalom to the Akbar who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp coming into another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and education. Another day of education, Lord willing, be able to find. So I titled this lesson, I wounded thee incurable. The Lord said he wounded us incurable, right? And the reason he did this to us, because the scriptures say, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shah. To get to the kingdom of heaven, the Lord set it up this way that through trials and tribulations, adversities and afflictions, this is how we get to the kingdom of heaven, which you will appreciate the kingdom of heaven that much more. The same way, like if somebody give you money, if somebody just hand you a wad of money, it's different if you work for the money, right? It's different if you work for the money or somebody just give it to you. There's a difference. This is what the Lord did to us because he loves us. So this is how we get to the kingdom of heaven. So this word incurable,
Incurable.
and it got similar words. Incurable is of a sick person or a disease not able to be cured. Similar, got similar words here. It say untreatable, inoperable, irremediable. Let's play this.
Irremediable.
Right? It got terminal, fatal, deadly, mortal, chronic, persistent, long-standing, long-term, right? So we are uncurable. And this is, and I was watching the lesson that Elder Kazak did earlier, and he titled it, We Need Healing. We need healing, brother, right? And we do need healing. Well, you understand what the Lord did because this was established in the heavens, man. Before anything was said and done, Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah, established this in the heavens. I'm going to read it here in Hebrews. See, this was already established. This is how the Lord was going to bring us to an everlasting kingdom. Not the rulership of King David, not the little 40 years with Solomon. No, an everlasting kingdom. This is how the Lord was going to bring us to an everlasting kingdom through much tribulation. So in Hebrews 8 and 6 it reads, but now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, right? Yahweh Shai is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. So this was already established before Yahweh Shai even came and walked on the earth, man. Okay, it was already established in the heavens. It say he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. Established when? This ain't talking about it being established when Yahweh Shai was on the earth, right, in flesh. No, this was established way before, man, in the beginnings, right? So through Adam, right, we all failed, right? Yeah, who was Adam? Yahushua. Because of Yahushua, we was wounded. So through Yahushua, we will be healed, man. Right? So we are incurable. The Lord said he wounded us incurable, man. Nobody can save us. Nobody can help us, man. Nobody never told you to come here. We don't need you over here. Deuces. So through Yahushua, man, we need healing. And hopefully like it's being healed. So let's get these precepts. So I want to start in Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. Because the Lord said this. Ecclesiastes 1 and 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. The Lord said that which is crooked cannot be made straight, right? Ecclesiastes 7:20. It reads, so like Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. Consider the work of God, who could make that straight which he have made crooked. So who can make us straight? Nobody, man. It's the son of Yahweh, man. They got to make us straight. Yahweh, right? It say Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of power, for who can make that straight which he have made crooked, right? Nobody, man. It's the Lord. So let's get this in Isaiah. This is Isaiah 1 in verse 1. It reads, the vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for Yahweh hath spoken. I have nourished, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahweh, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger. And this chick that Elder Nakazakba did a lesson on, also Elder Malcolm and other brothers, hey, she provoking Yahweh Shema Shah, man. All you women that want to get on YouTube and think you know something, you are provoking the Lord to anger. It say, they have forsaken Yahweh, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backward, right? It say, why be stricken? Why should you be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. So it's like the more the Lord chasteneth 2/3, the worse they get, man. So the Lord said, why should I chasten you anymore? Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart faint. Only the whole elect is going to realize we doing something wrong, man. Right? From the sole of the foot, even into the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. Right? They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. So let's look up real quick. Let's look up putrefying sores. You know what? Yeah, let's look up real quick. Let's look up putrefying sores. I'm gonna get it here in Google. See what Google say. So let's look up. Let's look this up. It say the act or result of decomposing disintegration. Disintegration. Let's look this up. So they say Salaki. What the hell?
Putrefy.
Right? Now I say we are full of wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, right? It say of a body or other organic matter decay or rot and produce a fetid smell. So it got similar decay, rot, decompose, perish, spore, deteriorate, fester, molder, gangrene, right? So back in Isaiah, you know what? Let me get this. Let me come back to me. This will be full of wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, man. So let's get it here. I'm gonna use the blue letter. I'm gonna use a couple precepts in the blue letter. So let's look it up here. So it say from the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither modified with ointment. Right? This is why we need healing, man. This is why we need Yahweh Shah. So the word putrefying here.
Strong's H 2961. Tari. Tari.
You see, it's a new, putrefying, fresh, new, because that's what iniquity, right? Sin on top of sin. It's a hence fresh, new, putrefying. So our wounds and bruises are fresh, man, new, over and over. The same things over and over, man, over and over and over. And the Lord say, why should we be stricken anymore, right? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart faint. Well, that's 2/3 of Jake, man. This is Jeremiah 5 and 3. It reads, O Yahweh, are not thy eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. 2/3 of our people is not grieving, man. That's why the Lord said, don't pray for them. Don't pray to the Lord for them, man. Okay? And it tells you in John 9 and 31, it reads this. The Lord told us, well, he told the whole elect not to even pray for 2/3, man. It's John 9 and 31. It reads, now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and do of his will, him he heareth. What's the will of the Lord? Feeding the sheep with sound doctrine, man. Okay? It said, now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and do of his will, him he heareth. The will of the Lord is feeding the sheep with sound doctrine. The will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his only begotten Son is calling the names in the Hebrew, man. Okay? That's the will of the Lord, man. First and foremost, the Lord's telling Zephaniah 3 and 9 that he's going to turn the Hebrew back to us, and we're going to call on their names in the Hebrew, man. That's the will of the Lord. So it say Jeremiah 5 and 3, O Yahweh, are not thy eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. That has consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. We see how people getting gunned down. We see how people dying from all different type of diseases and ailments, man. Right? You think Jake taking that into consideration? No, man. Because everybody is for their self, man. Everybody for their self outside this truth. That has consumed them. Look what's going on with our people, man. Jake getting chopped down out here. Whether it's by cops or whether it's by another Israelite. But they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Therefore I say, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of Yahweh, nor the judgment of their power. You see, Jake don't know what's going on, man. Well, the reason is, these are the wounds and bruises and the putrefying sores, man. This is Jeremiah 30 and 11. And the Lord did this to us for a reason, man. It's a reason the Lord did this to us. Jeremiah 30 and 11. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee. And to this chick, hold on, let me come back to me real quick. Now in that chapter, in that verse I'm reading, the Lord just say, even though he's going to make a full end of all the nations, whether he scattered us, right? This chick here. So what is she talking about? About the Lord say, love all nations, right?
Before you know.
What is she talking about? About the Lord say, love all nations. Because what I'm reading right here in Jeremiah, let's read it again. This is Jeremiah 30 and 11. It reads, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, right? He said he will correct us. He will correct us in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. This is how the Lord correcting us through trials and tribulations, through adversities and afflictions, man. This is how we get to the kingdom of heaven. Lord, will we be of those men and women? Verse 12 reads, for thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Let's look at this word incurable right here. We looked it up on Google. Let's look it up right here.
Strong's H605, Anash. Anash.
It's a desperately wicked, woeful, sick, to be weak, sick, frail, to be incurable, to be sick. Okay? Very sick. We sick, man. And we need a healer, man. We need a physician. It said to be frail, feeble, which I talk about that a lot. These weak, emotional, effeminate, frail, feeble, beta simp men out here, man. That's supposed to be standing in boldness for Yahweh Shema Shah. It's an incurable, sick, woeful. You see? So it say, for thus saith Yahweh, Jeremiah 30 and 12, thy bruise is incurable. Can't nobody heal us, man. That's why I say in Deuteronomy 28 that we shall be sold to our enemy for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Mean nobody's going to redeem us out of these devils' hand, man. Okay? We waiting on Yahweh Shah, man. Thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Here we go. There is none to plead thy cause. You see it? There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. It said, there is none to plead thy cause. When you go to Jeremiah chapter 50, it says this. This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. It reads, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, right? All 12 tribes. This is the point. Jeremiah 50 and 34. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. You see right here, Jeremiah 50 and 34 reads, he shall thoroughly plead their cause. So right here, when the Lord say, Jeremiah 30 and 13, there is none to plead thy cause. See, we need the Lord, thy Redeemer. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. You see it? So Jeremiah 50 and 34, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. So we don't have no healing medicines, man. We need Yahweh Shah. We need Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. And that's why I tell you in Psalms, this is Psalms 103. In verse 2, it reads, bless the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. You see? Because we sick, man. Well, look what the Lord said about our lovers, them that we followed after, the heathen nations. It said, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For this is what the Lord say, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. The Lord did it to us. With the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Right? So right here, verse 15, the Lord say, why criest thou for thine affliction? Hold on. In Micah, this is what Micah say, Micah 7:9. The Lord say, why criest thou for thine affliction? Right? Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause, you see, and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Now the Lord is bringing forth the whole elect to the light, and we see his righteousness, man, that he's merciful, right? Why criest thou for thine affliction? There's another one in Lamentations 3. It reads this, there is no room to be crying. Lamentations 3 and 39, it reads, wherefore do a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? You see? Because remember in Deuteronomy 24 and 16, remember the Lord saying in Exodus 20 and 5 that he showed mercy unto thousands, right? In Deuteronomy 20 and Deuteronomy, Salakia, Deuteronomy 24 and 16, remember, it reads this, the father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. You see? Or the Lord gonna show you mercy because he gave you the spirit of acceptance to repent, man. Okay? So back in Jeremiah 30 and 15, it say, why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, you see, for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. You see, the Lord said he did it to us. And that's why Jeremiah asked the Lord this. Isaiah asked the Lord. It's Isaiah 63 and 17. It was the Lord that did it. Isaiah 63 and 17. O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and harden up our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servants' sake the tribes of thine inheritance. Isaiah said, O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways? Well, the Lord said this. This is the Lord's response. This is Romans chapter 8 and 20. Right? It reads this. For the creature was not made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. The Lord made us go off. That's why Isaiah said, O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways? The reason is this. Let's get this. Acts 14. The reason why the Lord did it like this, man. Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of power. You see, it's through tribulation shall we get the kingdom. Lord willing, we build those first fruits, men and women, Lord willing. So confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of power, right? Well, the Lord said in Second Ezra chapter 7, right? It reads this. It say, 2 Ezra 7:6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If is the point, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Okay? Because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statute, then was decreed that now is done. Okay? It say, then were the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live, labor not to enter into these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So the Lord said, confirming the souls, Acts 14 and 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of heaven. Well, who's putting us through these trials and tribulations? Romans 8 and 20. For the creature was not made subject to vanity, not willingly. We didn't go off willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. You see, the Lord did it. The Lord did it, man. Again, Isaiah 63 and 17. O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and harden of our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance. So the Lord made us go off, man, for a reason. There's a reason the Lord did it. Let's get this in Judges. This is Judges 2. This is Judges 2 and 13. It reads, and the Lord made us do this over and over, man. Over and over and over, man. It's and they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and Ashtoreth. What Jake doing right now? They worshiping his system. Okay? They are faithfully serving his system, man. And that means what? If they serving the system, which is the image of the beast, then they're going to receive the mark of the beast, right? And they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and Ashtoreth. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. You see, whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yahweh was against them for evil, as the Lord hath said, and as the Lord hath sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. You see it? It said the Lord sold us. It said the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold us into the hand of their enemies. It said the same thing of Baruch. This is Baruch, chapter 4. In verse 6, it reads, "You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies." You see how this powerful, this Bible hand in hand, man. It tell you right here. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies. This is what we're Baruch quoting right here in Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. You see, remember Jeremiah 30, the Lord say, he will not leave us altogether unpunished. Right? He said, though he make a full end of the nations, it say, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. This is how the Lord, this is how you get back to the kingdom of heaven, man. Lord willing. Lord willing, we endure, man. But this is how you get back to the kingdom. The Lord established it. He set it up this way, man. Yahweh, when Yahweh already had established the whole elect coming back, man, on better promises, man. A new covenant. Let's read it again in Hebrews. Let's get it here again. This was already established in the heavens before Yahweh even came on earth, man. This is a movie, man. This is the Lord's movie, and this is how the movie play out, man. Hebrews 8 and 6. But now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, Yahweh, by how much also he is the mediator, right? He saves, he delivers. He is the mediator. He is Yahweh. The mediator is what? The Savior. He's the go-between between Yahweh and the Israelites. Okay, it say, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant. Listen, look at this. It say, which was established on upon better promises. So when was it established? Before Yahweh even came on the earth, man. It was already established. This is how the Lord planned it out, man. So this is let's get this. Let's get Lamentations 1. Let's read some of this. This is Lamentations 1 and 1. The sorrows of Zion. How did the city sit solitary that was full of people? How has she become as a widow? When you read in Second Ezra 2, I think it is. Let me double check. Second Ezra 2 and 1. Yeah. Second Ezra 2 and 2, it say, the mother that bare them said unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. Talking about the land of Israel, right? So it say, Lamentations 1 and 1, how do the city sit solitary that was full of people? How has she become as a widow? Because the Israelites is not there. She that was great among the nations, and princess among the provinces, how is she become tributary? You see, that's why when the Lord established the kingdom of heaven on earth, all 16 heathen nations are going to be tributary to us. Okay? Because Edom going to be done away with. So they're going to leave 16 other nations, heathen nations. They're going to be our tributaries. But right now, we are their tributaries. Okay? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, you see it? Remember I read in Jeremiah 30 and 14? Let me read it again. Among all her lovers, she have none to comfort her because we waiting on Yahweh, man. Okay? Nobody care about us, man. Nobody is seeing how we doing, man. Jeremiah 30 and 14. Here it is. It reads, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. All the nations that we went a horn after and committed spiritual adultery against Yahweh. Listen, none of them is looking for you, man. They don't care about you. It tell you that they licking our wounds, man. And even these devils said in the news all the time how the Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are the biggest consumers on the planet, man. Okay? So when they tell you when they say that Lazarus, the dog was licking Lazarus' wounds, the other nations make trillions and billions of dollars off you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay? Because we love everything. Women love hair, men love Jordans and necklaces and jewelry and clothes, fine linen. I can tell you about the women in Isaiah 3. We all love these things, men and women, man. We are the biggest consumers. They said Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitian are the biggest consumers on the planet, man. So that's how they licking our wounds, man. In that parable about Lazarus and the rich man. Okay? You see, it says she weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she have none to comfort her, because we wait on Yahweh. Let's get it here. Lamentations 5, in verse 8 it reads, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hands. You see? Let's get this one here in Lamentations 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. You see? It say, all her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. The 17 heathen nations. Verse 3, Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, you see, and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. Remember, Judges 2, the Lord said he was hot against us, and he gave us into the hand of the enemy. The ways of Zion do mourn, still to this day, because none come to the solemn feast, or her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief. Who? Esau Edom. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper, for the Lord Yahweh have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And what it said in Baruch? We are yet this day. Let's read it. Let's read it. Baruch 3 and 8. It reads, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. We got to pay for everything, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Let's prove that we got to pay for everything. What's that? Lamentations 5. It say, verse 4, Lamentations 5 and 4, we have drunken our water for money, and our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest, man. Okay? This is verse 6. And from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Go read that in Ezekiel 16. The Lord said he decked us out with fine linen, put a crown on our head, he put a chain on our neck. We was beautiful. Now we ugly, man. It said, from the daughters of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pastor, and they are gone without strength before the pursuers. Who are the pursuers? The fowlers, Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversaries saw her and did mock her Sabbaths. They doing it now. Verse 8, Jerusalem has grievously sinned. Therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her. Everybody despises us now, man. We was honored, man. Okay? Through King David and Solomon, hey, we was honored, man. But all those that honor her now despise her. You see it? Because they have seen her nakedness, because the Lord hid his face from us, man. Now we've been following these heathens. Now we naked, man. Well, we was naked. We got a covering now. Call out Yahweh Shema Shah for that, man. It say, because they have seen her nakedness, yeah, she sigheth, and turneth backward. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end. You see? And that's what we're talking about Esau now. They didn't consider their latter end in Isaiah 47. I read it yesterday. Let's read it real quick. Because see, now, this is turning to these devils, man. Isaiah 47. I just want to read the point here. Isaiah 47 in verse, what is that? Or was it in, it might have been Revelation 18. They talk about them not remembering their latter end. So I'm going to read this here. It say, verse 11, therefore evil shall come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? I want that one that say, I think it's Revelation. Let's see. I forgot where it was at. But it talks about these devils not considering their latter end. But anyway, sticking to the point. Well, let's go to Lamentations 2, right? This is Lamentations 2 and 1. How have the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger? Remember it said in Judges 2 and 14, the Lord was hot against Israel. It say, and cast down from heaven unto earth the beauty of Israel. Again, go read Ezekiel 16. They tell you about the beauty of Israel, man, how the Lord decked us out, man. And remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. It say, the Lord have swallowed up all the inhabitants of Jacob, that's all 12 tribes, and have not pitied. He have thrown down in his wrath. You see, he was hot in Judges 2 and 14. Say the list said the Lord was hot against us, man. It say, matter of fact, hold on. Let me look up that word hot in Judges 2. Let's get there real quick. I want to see what it say. Let's look at this word hot right here real quick. H2734.
Strong's H 2734.
Salaki.
Strong's H 2734. Chara. Chara.
It say wrath, hot, angry, displeased, fret, burn, grieved. It said to be hot, furious, burn, become angry, be kindled. It say to burn, kindle, to heat oneself in vexation. The Lord was hot with us, man. Worshiping those images, man. Worshiping Baal and Ashereth, man. The Lord was hot. It said to blaze up of anger, zeal, jealousy, Salakia, be angry, burn. Oh, remember was that let's get this. In Exodus, this is why the Lord was hot with us, man. Exodus 34 and 14, man. The Lord is, man. Exodus 34 and 14, it reads, for thou shalt worship no other God, for Yahweh whose name is jealous, is a jealous power, man. Okay? So this is what the Lord did hey, that's why he did the number on us, man. But it was all his will anyway, man. It was his will anyway. Through much tribulation, right? Shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven? This is how the Lord set it up. So back in Lamentations 2:2, it said, the Lord have swallowed up all the inhabitants of Jacob and have not pitied. He have thrown down in his wrath the strongholds. That's why these heathens was able to take us, man. Okay? That's why these heathens was able to take us, man. It say, he have thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughters of Judah. He have brought them down to the ground. He have polluted. See, it said he brought down the daughter of Judah, meaning the Israelite men. He have brought them down to the ground. You see, this bug out guy, Eric Mason, talking about in Jeremiah 14:2, when they say Judah mourn the gates thereof languish, they are black unto the ground. Talking about the gates. No, it's talking about the men of Israel. Okay, all of Israel, but the men. Okay, starting with the elders, man. He have brought them down to the ground. He have polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. I want to prove this real quick. That it's talking about it's talking about the men of Israel, man. Okay, that fell on that sat on the ground. But you're saying it right here. But let's get this in Lamentations 5, right? Verse 14. It's right here, man. Lamentations 5:14. See, they don't read, man. They don't study, man. It said the elders had ceased from the gate. You see it? It's right there. The young men from their music. The elders have ceased from the gate, and the young men from their music. That shows you when it said they are black unto the ground, it's talking about the rulership, man. We sitting on the ground now. Just like the Lord say, they got to get this. See, the same thing that happened to us, it's got to happen to these devils, man. Because the kingdom of Israel got to go back to the top again, man. See right here, Isaiah 47:1. Lament for Babylon. Come down and sit in the dust. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. See, they falling too. The same way we had to fall. And what the Lord do? When you look at the 18 nations, right? You got Israel was on top, right? Israel was on top. And the reason how we got it, the apostles, how they set it up like that, with Israel on top. Then you had the so-called white man and on down, the Chinese, Japanese, all these nations, right? Well, we was on top. And I was thinking about remaking that 18 sign, 18 nations, and put Esau on the bottom, right? But he controls all the nations. All the nations flow to Esau, Edom. So that's why they is up under Israel on the 18 nations sign, right? But I was thinking about remaking it, putting them on the bottom, man. Because what the Lord did was change places. We changed places with the Edomites. Remember, they the basis of men. So Lord put us on the bottom and put them on the top, man. Okay? That's what happened. The Lord changed our spots, man. Put Esau on top and put Israel on the bottom, man. So back in Lamentations 2, it say, Yahweh Bashim Havashai have swallowed up all the inhabitants of Jacob and have not pity. He have thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughters of Judah, the daughter of Judah. He have brought them, he ain't talking about no gates. He have brought them down to the ground. You see it? He have polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. You see? The princes that sit on the ground now. He have cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel, meaning our power. That's what me and the brother in the camp talk about how, hey, now the Lord is letting us tap back into the power grid, man. We are tapping back into the power source, the power grid, man. He have drawn back his hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob. See, right here. And he burned against Jacob. I read in Judges 2:14. The Lord was hot against Israel, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoureth round about. He have bent his bow like an enemy. You see, Remember I read in Jeremiah 30? He said he wounded us with the wound of an enemy, as of a cruel one. He had bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary. The right hand of the Lord is an adversary. Now, who's the right hand of the Lord? Yahweh Shai, man. He had bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary and slew all that were pleasant to the eye. In the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion, he poured out his fury like fire. Let's prove, it say right here, he stood with his right hand as an adversary. Let's show you. That's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. In Psalms 80, 17, and this one of the beloveds of Quan, Elder Yasha, one of my verses right here about Yahweh Shai, Psalms 80 and 17. Look, it say, let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand. You see, let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the Son of Man, who thou made it strong for thyself. You see? So this hey, Yahweh Shai been jacking us up, man. Been jacking us up. You see it? He have bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary. That's heavy, man. And slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter. Remember, it said pleasant to the eye because he said we the apple of the Lord's eye. It say, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. The Lord was an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed her. He hath destroyed his strongholds, and have increased in the daughter of Judah, mourning and lamentation. You see, the Lord did this, man. This is Isaiah. Isaiah 45 and 2. It reads this. It say, remember, because we full of wounds and bruises. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. We have been in captivity after captivity after captivity. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord Yahweh, which called thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. You see, he said he will go before, I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. Right? Remember, I read Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 7:20. I'm sorry, 7 and 13. It reads this. Consider the work of God. Who can make that straight which he have made crooked? Nobody's going to save us, but Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Nobody's going to save us, man. Okay? We wait on the Lord to return. So, as this say, Matthew 9 and 12, it reads, but when Yahweh heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. And who's sick? We sick, man. Okay? Hold on, let me get this real quick. So, like, you bear with me here for a second. Because we sick, man. And we need a physician, man. So, Lord. Lord said he came to save them that was sick, right? So I want to close with this in Ecclesiasticus. So let me come back to me. Yeah, I saw Elder Kazak video, a few hours ago, a couple hours ago, and I'm meditating on that, man, because we sick, man, and we can't get out of here until Yahushua come, man, because you got to remember, because of Yahushua, we was wounded. So through Yahushua, we will be healed, man. Okay? That's how the Lord set it up. It's through Yahushua, man. Yahushua was Adam, right? Adam went off. So through Yahushua, that's how we gonna get healed, man. So let's get it here. Ecclesiastes 10:10 it reads, the physician cut off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. Who's king today? Esau Edom. But he's gonna die when Yahushua return, man. The physician cut off a long disease. Who the physician? Yahushua. The disease he's cutting off is us. Also these devils, because they're diseased too. They're cancer in the earth. But he's cutting off our sickness, man. Let me pull it here again, Jeremiah. Let's get this again. And Jeremiah 30. I'm gonna close with this. I just want to make some points on this, man. Oh, I want to read 2 Ezra 7:2 as well. So right here it say, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of the nations, whether I have scattered you. So to that young chick that don't know nothing, the Lord's gonna make a full end of these nations. And then what you gonna say? Whether I have scattered you, or I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. You see? For thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. Okay? So we waiting on the physician, man. Yahushua to come. I want to read the point of this in 2 Ezra 7. This is what Ezra was asking. It say 2 Ezra 7. In verse is it 38? Let's see here. Because Ezra said, hold on. He said, oh Adam. He said, Adam, what hast thou done? It wasn't just you that sinned, but all of us, man. We all done went off. So I'm gonna read this here, 2 Ezra 7:11. It say, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statute, then was decreed that now it's done. You see? So through Adam, which is who? Yahushua, man. This is how we get back to the kingdom of heaven. Through Yahushua, which was Adam, right? So right here, 2 Ezra 7, in verse 46, it say, I answered then and said, this is my first and last sin, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning. The Lord could have easily did that. But as it said in Romans 8:20, right? By the reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. This is how the Lord made his movie to play out, man. Through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. It say, I answered then and said, this is my first and last sin, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning. The Lord could have easily restrained us from sinning. For what profit is it for men now, in this present time, to live in heaviness and after death to look for punishment? This is how we get to the kingdom of heaven. To live in heaviness, man. Because if the Lord just give you the kingdom and you ain't do nothing for it, you're not going to respect, you're not going to appreciate it. Like the same when I first started the lesson, if somebody just hand you $1 million versus you work hard and build up your company, all of a sudden you made yourself a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, you ain't just your money, you're gonna you're gonna look at things different from somebody just giving you $1 million and you worked and built yourself up and you earned $1 million. It's different, man. The Lord is just gonna give us the kingdom, man. We gotta work for it, man. It say, for what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness and after death to look for judgment, look for punishment? O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou, it say, thou art not fallen only, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. For what profit is it unto us if there be promised us in a mortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain. You see, the Lord made us vain, man. Remember Isaiah 29, whom shall he teach knowledge? Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? The Lord made us vain. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. You see? And that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all. And that there should be a show, and that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endure forever, wherein in security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. You see? But this is the conditions to the kingdom of heaven, man. This is the condition to the kingdom of heaven. This is how the Lord established it, man. So Lord willing to edify. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rekah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone, rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, really accepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all that I can push in this truth and believe in this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning, Lord was edifying. Till next time, I say shalom. Wah, abab, 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 tune in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Let me close this precept. Remember this, man. Psalms 103 and 2. Bless Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquity, who healeth all thy diseases. Who healeth all our diseases, man? It's Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? Nobody else can heal us, man. We wait on a physician that's coming. What it said? Let me read it again. Ecclesiastes 10 and 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease. So in Psalm 103 and 2, it say, Psalm 103 and 3, who forgiveth all thy iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases. You see it? The physician is going to cut off the long disease, which is Yahweh Shah, man. Till next time, I say shalom. Wa ababa.